Hello, audio engineering. It is time to get going on Unit 5. This is Unit 5 Assignment 2. As I've said every single time, if you have not yet done Unit 5 Assignment 1, you need to do that on your own. Assignment 1 is a series of short questions. You can find the answers either by reading through the class, which is what I recommend, or by doing an internet search for your answers. But make sure you understand them, because otherwise the rest of this is just not going to make a lot of sense. All right, in Unit 5, we also need Audacity and your course resources. Hopefully by the time you're at Unit 5, you understand what that means. Here we go. Open up Audacity. You're going to start by importing 7 different tracks, believe it or not. So I want you to go to File, Import, Audio. From here, I'd like you to navigate to your Audio Engineering folder and your Course Resources folder. Since we're in Unit 5, that corresponds to Section 4. Open up Section 4. Click Track 1. Shift. Click Track 7. They should all highlight. Once you've done that, hit Open. And as it goes through, you're going to end up with 7 different tracks. You will not be able to see all of these tracks at once in your window, so don't be surprised. Now, what I want you to do is go ahead and pause this video, and I want you to play this whole thing all together. Play each track individually. You're going to need to pull out some of these tracks. You need to keep 5, but all of them is too many. So go ahead and take out 2. When you've decided which 2 you want to take out, unpause the video, because we're going to do that part together. So listen to each one, decide which 2 you don't like, and then click pause again, and let's get back to it. Okay, hopefully you paused, and then listen to all 7 tracks and decide which 2 you wanted to get rid of. I am going to get rid of 2 because it's the same as 1, but I like the brightness in 1 better. So the way I do that is I click the X, and it's gone. And then I'm also going to go ahead and get rid of 6, because to me 6 is too busy for what I already have going on up here. So I'm going to click X, and now I'm down to 5 tracks. 1, 3, 4, 5, and 7. Now before we go anywhere else, I want you to save this as a certain name. Watch what I'm going to do. Save project as, go to wherever you keep your assignments, and open up, create a new folder. I right click, new folder. Call this Unit 5, so you know where you're keeping your Unit 5 stuff. Open up Unit 5, and I want you to call this project Sample Mix, because you're dealing with a whole lot of different samples of things. None of these is a complete song in and of itself. Sampling is where we're taking pieces of different songs. So save it as Sample Mix. And you would notice if you were to navigate over here, you should have in your Unit 5 folder Sample Mix and Sample Mix Data. Very important to have both of those. But we're not done yet. We got a lot of work to do on these. So now, you're going to pick a sample that you're going to repeat. You're going to do it at the beginning and then do it again later. The one that I want to repeat is track 5. Let me go ahead and solo this out and play it for you. I like that shaker, and I want to use it again later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click my selection tool, make sure that's clicked, and double click on track 5. Now it's highlighted. Let me show you again. Here it's not selected. Now it's highlighted and selected. On my keyboard, I'm going to hit Control-C. I want to paste this again right here at the end. So I'm going to click here because that's where I'm going to put my cursor there and hit Control-V. Over here, right here. And I'm going to do it again. And again. Now because I'm me and I don't want these gaps, I'm going to go up here and click my time shift tool, which is the little bar with the 2 arrows. And I'm going to shift each one of these so that they butt up right against each other. Now let's listen and hear what I've got. All right, this goes on forever. I'm going to drag it ahead so we can get a little farther along. And you can kind of see where they move into each other. So we have a tiny little gap there, which I think will be kind of hip. I like it. Now, once I've done that, I want to go ahead and save it. If you want to copy more tracks and have them play in more places, you go right ahead. I'm going to just show you the basics of each technique. This is your mix. You do with it what you like. File, save project. You don't have to do a save project as, because we're going to keep just moving with this project. Next step is to time shift the tracks, and we already did that. So when I'm looking at your assignment to grade it, I'm going to look for something that's been repeated, and I'm going to look for something that's been time shifted. If you just did what I did, you did both of those. But you don't necessarily have to do that. You can go ahead and do whatever you want to do on your own. Next step is going to be to change the gain. Gain has to do with how much of the high sounds in the piece we have. So when I'm talking about high sounds, I'm talking about the range of a sound wave, right? When we zoom in on a sound wave, let's zoom in a little bit just for fun. Remember that we'll see in our sound waves that they have peaks and troughs, highs and lows. When we have a whole lot of highs in the sound, it creates a louder sound because the human ear hears high sounds better than it hears low sounds. And if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just zooming in and out. That's all, to get myself back to where I can see most of my tracks. And so when we have too much gain in the sound, it sounds too loud. So right now I'm going to pick a track that sounds too loud, and I'm going to pull the gain down. I already know that I kind of want to use track 1, so let's listen to it a little. So I think in the overall mix, track 1 could be a little softer. I'm going to solo track 1 here. And now I'm going to go ahead and highlight track 1. Pause for a minute and decide which track you want to make louder or softer. I'm going to pause the video. You pause the video and unpause when you're ready. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully, you decided which track you wanted to use. Like I said, I want to use track 1. If you look next to your track of choice, you'll see that you have 2 bars here. One has minus and plus, one has left and right. Minus and plus controls the gain. How much gain or how little gain. The more gain you add, the louder it gets. Left and right controls the next thing we're going to do. So I'm going to pull this one back just a touch. Let's listen to it. I like that. To me, it's a much more subdued sound. I'm going to save because I always save. And then there was another one down here. This little guy, this little drum beat. I want to go ahead and I want to actually bring this out in the sound a little bit. So I'm going to highlight each of these tracks. And the way I'm doing that is I'm just shift clicking to make sure they're all highlighted. And then I'm going to go over here to the gain and I'm going to pull it up just a touch. Be very careful with gain. It makes a big effect. Let's listen to this one. All right, I'm a lot happier with the drum beat in the mix there. So I'm going to go ahead and save. Now, I'm not happy with the way this whole project is. There's some weird things going on I want to fix, but for right now, I'm just doing these. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is called panning the tracks. Panning is when you move between the 2 different sides of a speaker. Left speaker, right speaker. And you can see that up here, left and right. I'm going to pan through track 3, I believe. Let me listen to it real quickly. Solo and play. Nope, changed my mind. That's not the one I want. It's got to be 7. Solo and play 7. That's the one. To me, that already sounds kind of like a wave of sound, and so I wouldn't mind if it moved from left to right a little. So what I want you to do is go ahead and pause the video and pick your track and come back. This is the last thing we're going to do on this video, but there will be 2 different videos for this assignment. So pause and come back. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you've picked your track. And now I'm going to pan left and right. Listen to what it sounds like when I do this. this sit on the right, just for fun. All right, I'm happy with that. So I'm going to save project. At this point, I have picked my tracks, repeated some tracks, adjusted the gain, time shifted, and adjusted the pan. I'm saving this and I'm going to come back. On the second half of this, we're going to split stereo to mono. We're going to change the envelope of it by changing stereo to mono. And then we're going to add some effects and maybe move these around a little bit to make them make more sense. All right, this is the end of Unit 5 Assignment 2, Part 1, but there is a Part 2, so don't go away.